We got a podcast series about foreigners working here in the Philippines in BPO from BGC today. I got a special guest, Warubikku. He is the sphere guy here in the Philippines. You have to check out the spheres. I'll give you a link to that in the description or the video or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So stay tuned for some BPO talk, foreigner style, from the Philippines. So I've been getting a lot of comments lately about the whole working in the Philippines thing. And I don't know if you guys know, my buddy Warubikku here, he was letting me know a couple months ago, actually about 6 months ago, he said, dude, I'm in Manila and I'm flying drones and I'm shooting some cool stuff, and I landed this job on, LinkedIn?
Yeah, so one LinkedIn profile later, 2 days later, got interviewed. So I started thinking about it. You know, I'd worked here in Manila for years for BPO, and I'd been retired, and it's a completely different experience to come here from the U.S. and work as opposed to try to get onboarded here in the Philippines. So I actually was inspired, and I went out and I sought my dream job, or I should say my dream company, and I went through the process of interviewing and onboarding again BPO, but here in the Philippines, just like any Filipino would. And let me tell you, it was a heck of an experience, and we're here to talk about that today. I got a couple of notes. I've been getting some interesting comments, and I'm curious to see what you think about this. The most was probably, why? Why would you do this? You live here anyway, though.
Yeah.
So
these comments were a little more disparaging. Like the guy was saying, I don't believe you, I think that all the companies are lying, I think that there's no such thing as legal hiring because of the DOLE, I guess that's the Department of Labor here. They indicate, well, I'll read the comment.
Yeah, please do.
The guy says, isn't this interesting? Because the law in PH is that no foreigner is allowed to work a job that a Filipino can do. Never heard that?
Nope.
Well, actually there is an ordinance or some type that says there are 9 jobs here in the Philippines.
Specific.
Yes, that you cannot hire a foreigner to do.
I believe that.
And believe it or not, this was enacted recently as a result of a lot of backlash from an incredible amount of work permits that were issued for Chinese people to come here and do 2 types of work.
Yes.
Construction and casino work. So I think the rest of the list rounds out with like janitorial, construction was big on the list, like clerks or cashiers, a lot of different types of jobs like that. They will not hire a foreigner to do.
That's got to be true. Yeah.
So I know your experience was a little different than mine. They said that you got hired here.
Yep.
So when they went to process your paperwork, what was your experience with that?
The first thing is everybody says the lines here, so the lines. The amount of applications is not limited to one person. If you own your business and you're onboarding 10 employees, you can take 10 applications at once. And you go to Dole, there's a little window, you stand at the little window, and everybody parks it online, but you can submit 10 applications at once. So my one little application, I'm in there at like noon, and I get out there about 4 o'clock.
Wow.
I'm sitting there like, is it going to work? And tell you what forms to fill out, what IDs you need. I think it was, I don't know if your company covered yours or not.
Yes.
It's about 8,500 pesos.
So you paid 8,500 pesos for your
work permit, an alien employment permit.
And the AEP. Yep. And if I remember correctly, you told me that they said you had to pay for it because you applied here and not from overseas?
Yes, if a company brings you in, and it's also a different permit. It's not an alien group, it's a different
yes, there are 3 types of work visas.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. That in what we have here, just your regular visa, when you show up, that's all you need. You don't have to get it before you leave. I know they might change the law on that recently, but yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so in my experience, I guess I'm lucky. I did not have to pay a fee to get my AEP process. The company took care of it.
Yep.
I'll read you the rest of the comment.
So the guy says also you need a dole work permit, which we know.
Yep.
Which costs 8K pesos.
Yep.
And most companies won't pay for it. Or apparently in your case,
Depends.
that's the truth.
Yeah.
Case, right?
Depends how much money you're making. Yeah.
Now what he's saying is most companies won't comply with the requirements, and obviously without that, if you get caught, you get deported.
Yep.
But to any foreigner who thinks that you could move here to the Philippines and get a job, he says you cannot legally, but we are living proof.
I didn't have a job for the first month I was here. I was one of those, not saying I was laying around, but just, going to places, visiting things.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it.
And I think that's great. Like I said, it was awesome. We got onboarded, and I was totally into it, and it literally inspired me to go out and do the same thing. So,
done the same type of work, right?
yeah, we're working BPO, which is business process outsourcing, right? Supporting U.S. companies.
Yep. I got 2 here, and I think you said yours is 1, right?
Yep. And so the guy talks a little bit about, you need a mayor's permit. If you get caught, the businesses, you'll get deported immediately.
If you didn't mention, should you know there is one paperwork, and you didn't have to do it because they did it for you. They would bring their actual business permit in, their BIR paperwork of the business. So I had to get that from HR work, take all that down the door, prove it was a real company that like the name, yes, and
so
get you hired.
You had to go to Dole.
Yes.
All right. I did not have to do that. I had to do all kinds of crazy stuff, and I actually have another list of stuff here, I hope, somewhere. All right, so there was a huge list of things, including the right types of ID, right? So he told me you need a birth certificate. So luckily, I was prepared. I got that handled back home. Mom, thanks, she sent everything to me, I was good to go. You need 2 forms of identification, 2 forms of valid picture identification. That could be your passport and your driver's license.
That's exactly what I do. So.
In my case, my driver's license expired. I used my passport and my valid
ACR?
Yes, my ACR, my alien certification registration thing. And so that's something that you need to have is you need to have a valid stamp on your visa for 6 months, I think.
Yes.
Or was it 2 months?
At least 2.
At least 2. Right. So you need to have at least 2 months on your visa. You need to have a visa that didn't expire within a year. You need 2 forms of identification. At which point you need to go for all the NBI paperwork, right? So I had to go to NBI.
It takes about a week. Did yours take about a week?
About a week.
Yeah, about a week.
I got a video about that. Went down to NBI. It's biometrics, right? And it's fingerprinting. And
they give you the big blue paper.
Yeah, it's like a fee, but not expensive.
No,
right? Like
a couple hundred.
200 pesos or something.
Nope.
And then there's Phil Health.
Yep, one of those.
Yeah, you got to process your Phil Health.
Pagibig.
Yes.
I don't say it right. Sometimes
I don't know
they say it wrong, but
Pagibig.
yeah, Pagibig. Sorry, they're gonna hear me say
I'm not quite sure what it is. It's some kind of, you got to pay into it. It's like
not quite Social Security.
Yes.
Because there is also your SSS here.
Right.
You got that right.
It's kind of like there's kind of like a retirement fund, the Pagibig.
Yep.
And then there's the SSS, which is the equivalent of your Social Security number.
Yep.
And then you had to get a TIN.
Yes, you get a TIN number. That you don't actually have a card for, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I got a TIN card.
Yeah.
You can apply for all that online, but you need a code, right?
Yep.
The company will provide you like a code that you go in, and when you fill out the form, you have to put like your job information and the company's registration. So you can't just come here and apply for a TIN or an SSS. So the other thing about doing it online is that you can apply for everything online, but you can't pay for it online.
Yes. I have found one mall, no lie, there's just one mall, it was in the province at the time, just visiting up there, but there's one mall that had everything in it. Tins in one little office, you go up one staircase, there's Pagibig. You go around the next side of the mall, right there's your SS. I got it. The only thing I had to leave the mall for was the tin. Everything was right there. And you need a birth certificate, say, hey, and they prove that's who you are, they fill it out, and give it to you right there. So,
And that was very different than my experience because I didn't have to do anything except apply online for the TIN and the SSS. But but I did have to go appear in person and show IDs for NBI, PhilHealth, and gosh, that might have been it.
I just happen to have mine with me. But yeah, they do ask. Yep.
And once you get all that done, then you're gonna wait, right? You're gonna wait for it all to get processed. And I think mine took at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, not a month quite, but you can work it. If you didn't know this, you can train at the company, and I don't know if they did that for you.
They did not.
You can go in, and you can get trained. They can tell you what they're doing. As long as they're onboarding you, it's 15 days. There's a 15-day
grace period.
That's what you call it. Yep. Anything after that now kind of shady, but you can look it up online. Yes, 15 days within. I was well within range. I did it October 28th. I applied. November 9th was my actual first day of work. So that's not even maybe 2 weeks, if that.
So that's right. I didn't realize you would apply. That was like just before we were hooked up for Halloween.
Yeah, I remember telling I was like, I'm gonna try it. And sure enough, trained 2 weeks paid training, and then yep. Oh yeah.
So I did not have that experience. I had to wait for all my paperwork to get processed. The only thing that maybe I did. Maybe I was similar because I had like 3 or 4 trips back to the headquarters. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of trips.
Yes.
A lot of running around. 2 weeks of running around to get all that paperwork. Another 2 weeks to sit on it. Another 2 weeks for them to actually push it through at immigration. And I think I wasn't working at that time because I dropped the passport off, and then a week or 2 later, I picked it up with multiple entry visa stamp for 1 year.
Yep.
So we talked about a lot of stuff today. We got a couple more of these podcast style foreigners talking BPO work here in the Philippines coming your way.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more. It's Manila, baby.